trends and new ideas coming up for the hospitality industry. Very exciting. Hi, Scott. How are you? Talking about new innovations for the hospitality industry today. Specifically, the concept of ghost kitchens. I know that's kind of a buzzword that's been passing around the industry for the past couple of weeks. So, kind of wanted to dive deep into that, understanding. Hi, Scott. Understanding what's going on with these ghost kitchens and what that's going to mean to the industry, even post pandemic. Because I don't think these things are going anywhere. After just a little bit of research, I'm coming to learn that ghost kitchens may be the most aggressively invested in concept for the whole industry right now. Some really telling news that's happened in the past month or so around large companies actually picking up real estate now and really going aggressively into the concept of a ghost kitchen. So if you guys have like any experiences or ideas around it, feel free to comment in the comments. I'm reading all the comments so I can pick up everything from you guys, and yeah, we'll chat. If you want to come on live too, we can do that too. So every Monday I do this series, Dignified Hospitality. I usually bring in different stakeholders from the hospitality industry just to talk with them, talk about what are some things that we've been experiencing before pandemic, but then also especially talking about what's going on during the pandemic in regards to how to better bring dignity to the hospitality industry. So ghost kitchens, supposedly, from what I've been researching online, ghost kitchens have actually been around since before pandemic. So the concept of a ghost kitchen is not just irrelevant to the times, which it is now, because there's a pretty crazy pandemic going on around the world and people want to remain safe. And it's been seen that dining in restaurants could be one of the leading sources of the spread of the virus. So a lot of caution and apprehension towards dining out. And so, these ghost kitchens provide a good opportunity to keep business running on a low overhead, and as well as allowing people to enjoy your hospitality and your products without risking getting exposed to the virus or exposing others to the virus. Today I am going to be drinking some tea while I chat with you guys, and I'm going to drink some Monsoon Magic. This is a black tea, a handmade, hand-harvested, hand-rolled Orthodox black tea from Heritage Assam Tea. You can see it. Looking forward to drinking this. So I just finished priming all my wares with some freshly boiled water. My water's at 192 degrees. I'm going with it. Not fully boiled, but it's good. Tea should be intuitive. You shouldn't have to, follow specific rules if you don't want to. So yeah, a ghost kitchen is a kitchen that does delivery or takeout only. So there's no dine in. Although I'm researching that this definition of ghost kitchen is kind of expanding and is encompassing a bit more than just purely takeout. It just depends on the environment and the intention of the ghost kitchen. So some major brands have started to open these ghost kitchens. So this is just where they prepare the food, accept orders online through various third-party food delivery apps, and then people can have a contactless dining experience in their homes. So some major brands that have opened one, Red Lobster has opened one in Chicago. So yeah, Marco, if you're craving some Red Lobster and don't want to go to the Red Lobster, you can order from their ghost kitchen now. Chipotle has opened, a line of what they call digital kitchens. It's essentially just a ghost kitchen. And also, what was the other brand? Well, more than just Red Lobster was like the main big chain of restaurants that did this. Chipotle, that makes sense anyway. Chipotle was already a pretty solid takeout spot. But when you start talking about these dine-in chains like Red Lobster, I don't know, it's been decades since I've eaten at a Red Lobster, but I do remember when I did enjoy dining there. It was really special to dine in. There was a whole experience, They had the tanks with the lobsters in it and the cheese biscuits they had. I don't know if those are going to taste as good takeout, but it's the direction we're going in. And but then you have like the other side of it. So there are these like more commercial ghost kitchens, but then where I say the definition is kind of expanding and much more than just a takeout only restaurant is is the concept of like a shared ghost kitchen or a low risk shared economy, the style of the shared economy. And speaking of shared economy, one of the legends of the shared economy of Uber, ex-CEO of Uber, founder, ex-CEO of Uber, is actually in the ghost kitchen game. So, he's actually, it was just some, articles came out last week that they found that his company has aggressively been investing in real estate for these ghost kitchens. They haven't started them, but like what I'm kind of understanding from what I read in that article is it's going to be like the WeWork for chefs. So these, and it looks like even DoorDash. This is DoorDash kitchens. Just really quickly, I'm going to show you guys this article so you guys can read along, or not read along, but you can see what I'm talking about here. No, not that one. You can see this. Yelp kitchens here, or DoorDash kitchens. So, not only is DoorDash in the business of delivering the food, but now they're actually supporting chefs to make the food, which will then be sold and delivered on their app. I find that that's gonna, it's gonna create a lot of opportunity. I think it's also gonna create a lot of unknowns. I'm not too sure, but it's exciting nonetheless. So that's why I want to talk about it. I did want to pull up that number. So one such company, Cloud Kitchen, started by former Uber founder and CEO Travis Kalanick, has received hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, and according to a recent Wall Street Journal report, it spent more than $130 million in the last 2 years on real estate for its kitchens. Some big investments going on. We have the big brands like Red Lobster. I'm sure Cheesecake Factory will probably be next in line. Yeah, so you say very interesting. There was just a pitch for like a temporary service to fulfill positions in a small kitchen that's shared, so people are on demand and the owner has reduced employee fees. There's a lot of places where we could be sharing our resources and get people local who are small a fighting chance to be seen, right? So there's a lot of opportunity for exposure for what we're dealing with now is a lot of chefs that are out of work, or if they are in work, they're not very dignified in the work that they're in. Do I know who Danny Daniels is? I don't know who Danny Daniels is. Alpha man. I would like to know. Let's see. No, not interested in that. She's not a chef. Oh, so Brendan, you say that there's a co-working kitchen space in Truckee. Kitchen collab. Yeah, I'm not going to go to the images. Let's see this one. Kitchencollab.co. This is pretty cool. So yeah, they're doing like a Thanksgiving dinner, so it's like pop-up. So yeah, this is kind of cool. So there's different ranges. Like there's some, you know, big brands that are going to be just expanding their takeout service, but then for like these indie co-working labs, you know, there's a lot of opportunity to get exposure for these folks. So yeah, if you guys know of any more, let me know, and I will give some exposure to that. All right, so yeah, back to this article. This is actually a really good article. I'm going to put a link to it in the chat so you guys can watch it yourselves. So the story is about this Sunset Squares pizza. It's actually just like a father, you know, during the pandemic, a father and his kids started making pizzas. They started baking bread and making pizzas, and then that evolved into a whole business. They have, you know, an Instagram following, and they are doing the delivery themselves, which is kind of a big deal because I know that that's an issue in the yeah, Brendan, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with me. I'm going to check it out more. Kitchen collab. The dishes look good. 2 pounds of turkey legs for 36 bucks. And they even have an FAQ for Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so someone just asked about the history of tea pets. So I got a few tea pets on my table now. A little pee-pee boy. And actually there's a really good gold thread video about the history of the pee-pee boy. I'll share that video too. I'll put the link in the comments too. Supposedly this is the very first one. Maybe not this exact model. This is definitely like factory made. But the concept of the pee-pee boy is something that they say is like the very first tea pet. And the ceramics artists that are making the teapots and such, you know, the teapots, they started making the tea pets, and they're like usually symbols, like animals or symbols that represent something to you. The pee-pee boy, I don't know what it represents, but it's kind of fun and silly. But actually it has like a pretty cool physics to it, where if you super chill this, it'll fill with water, and then whenever you put, with the chilled water, and then whenever you put boiling water on top, the temperature differentiation will cause, you know, you see a little pee-pee hole. Pretty gross, I know. It'll cause water to squirt out, and it'll like squirt out really far. But then there's a lot of animals that represent things. So like rabbits and pigs are really popular. Pigs represent prosperity and wealth. I have a dog here. But you know, you can also keep things that are not the traditional tea pet. You know, so it started with the animals and the symbols, and using the unglazed clay, so that over time, as you're pouring tea over them, so like they get thirsty, you can share the tea with them while you're drinking. They develop like a patina on them. which is pretty cool. And so that's kind of like your tea journey. As you're drinking different teas, the tea pets are drinking the tea with you. So you can kind of feel like they're on that journey. But that idea of having some kind of symbol or icon with you on your tea tray while you're serving tea can extend beyond the traditional tea pets. And I say traditional, I don't think that they have more than a 300 or 400 year history. And I know that's a lot of history, but tea has a 5,000 year history. So, I always like to keep that perspective, that reference point there. But you can collect other things on your tea tray that serve the same purpose. So, my friend Nick, he gifted me some beautiful shells that he found at the beach. And so that's my tea pet. I have a quartz bacon rock. Yeah. And it's just the same thing. It's with you all the time. Any kind of symbol. So that's tea pets. That's tea pets. Sometimes they're even made out of plastic. This is my tea fairy tea pet. She has wings. So the tea is very good. I had decanted it and I was in the middle of talking about something, so I didn't really explain to you about the tasting on it, but it's good. It's malty. It's really light. This is an Assam tea, so the Assamica plant, the broadleaf Assamica plant can be very brisk and very intense. So it's always a delight whenever you experience one that's like soft and gentle and quite sweet. Does not need sugar or cream at all. It can be enjoyed on its own. So the energetics on the tea, that's something that I usually do talk about with Assam teas, because in addition to that really punchy, brisk profile, like flavor profile of the Assamica teas, there's also a pretty punchy energy, chi, to the tea. And that's something that I always say is unique about tea. And it has been scientifically proven that the Camellia sinensis plant has the most complex root system of any tree that's been researched. There was a university in China, and perhaps on another live stream I will talk specifically about that, because that's a cool subject even just on its own. But the roots system of the Camellia sinensis tree is so complex and can go so deep into the earth, and it's very absorbing. So when you think about the earth, then, and you have all these layers going to the center of the earth, and ultimately, I don't know about those layers, I'm not a geologist, but I do remember when I, vaguely studied it in school, that the core of the earth is pure energy. And I would assume from knowing that, as you're getting closer, as you're getting closer and closer to the core, the more and more energy there is. And so when you have this very complex deep root system that is able to access that energy, that's how the tea can absorb so much chi and can express so much chi, especially tea that is harvested from trees grown from seed, because the seed has a taproot that goes directly down. And they say that the taproot grows just as deep as the tree is growing tall. So you've seen pictures or you've heard stories of these trees that, are so many dozens of feet tall. You've got to think that their roots are going at least that deep into the earth. Of course, if the tree has been pruned at all, which is very typical practice by tea farmers, every time it's pruned, that's some of the root growth that we're not going to see. Sometimes you can find these very old trees, 500 years old, 800-year-old tree, and they're maybe just a little bit taller than you. And you wonder, how is that tree that's been around for so long, has had so much opportunity to grow, how is it not having, but that's because it's pruned its whole life. The farmer keeps it pruned down so that it's easy to harvest the tree. And you can see that, just go to the base of the tree. Look at the girth of the base coming out of the earth. And oftentimes you'll see it big, and then what's growing is much smaller because it's been pruned. But those roots are still going deep. And I've seen it before. When I was in Yunnan, there was like a cross section on the road. They were cutting a road. So they basically had to make a terrace to cut this road into the mountain. And you could see the whole cross section of the soil. The earth is here, or the surface and they cut into here to make a road here. So you can see, and the tea tree is just right up to the edge of where they cut. So you can see the whole cross section of the roots going down. It's pretty impressive. I'm like, wow, that's cool. I have photos, but I didn't have them here, so not able to show them right now. So what fruit do I think this tea would go well with? Man, so much. I feel like cherry, like a really deep, dark cherry. Pair well with this. Maybe even some chocolate with it. Round it all out. Persimmon. Nice idea. I actually have persimmons. Where are my persimmons? They're on my other tea table. I usually keep 2 little cute persimmons on my tea table. I love, Asian pear. That would add a nice texture for sure. I love my cute little persimmons. They're the cutest little things. Everybody thinks that they're like mini little pumpkins. They're so cute. But like, I like the flavor of persimmon, but the astringency that I've experienced with it, I'm not a big fan. But maybe it's just I haven't gotten them at the right ripeness. But yeah, I just found the drying sensation from the persimmon to be very off-putting. But I'm weird with fruit. I love fruits, but like guava, I can't handle the aroma, especially flowering trees. I go crazy. It's like the worst smell in the world to me. And it's so weird because I know it doesn't smell that bad. And I love things like durian, those smells, I love that. But guavas, fruiting tree, guava trees, I'm just not a big fan. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this article now. But seriously, if you have more questions about tea, I'm happy to answer them. The tea is the base of all of this, and tea is hospitality, and I'm here to talk about hospitality, so it's okay. I can talk about the tea too. So you say it needs to sit in the sun for at least a week for best energy. I like that. All right, so next time I get persimmons, I'm gonna leave them out in the sun for a week, and I'm gonna see if there's any difference. I think it should be good. This is good tea too, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized, which is why I want to get back to this article. So, yeah, this guy and his kids, they started this Squares Pizza, and now they deliver. They charge $5 to deliver in their neighborhood, $10 to deliver anywhere in San Francisco, and $20 to deliver outside of San Francisco. So that's pretty cool. They're doing all their own delivery. They're making their own. I wonder where they cook out of, because that's a big piece of it, right? And that's why these ghost kitchens are popping up, is that you can't just sorry about that. You can't just pop up a food stall and just start making food. You're gonna have the health department come ask you where things are being prepared, and that all has to be done in commercial kitchens, which are very expensive to start up. So I'm wondering where they're making their pizzas out of. But they have a simple menu, so that's one big thing. And yeah, they just focus on doing one thing really well. They must be working out of a commercial kitchen, like a shared kitchen. And those have been around for a while. What did they used to call them, or not used to, they still do call them that, incubators, food incubators. And I guess that's kind of what a ghost kitchen is, like, especially this style where it's like indie Oh, here's a little. It says a market research firm recently estimated that delivery-only restaurants could be a $1 trillion business by 2030. Shared kitchen. Yeah. So the shared kitchens, the incubator kitchens, is where you can like rent out maybe, you know, I think they have different plans for how much time you can spend in there. But I haven't heard very positive reviews from anybody's experience using a shared kitchen. And if you have used a shared kitchen for your business and would like to share your experience, please feel free to share it. I'd love to hear what it is. But I have, work with a lot of clients that don't have commercial kitchens, so they have to share them. And there's always a lot of excitement whenever, the city launches some kind of food incubator program and there's a shared kitchen you can rent. And everybody's really excited and happy to get it going. And then, there's always some conflict of interest, or there's some politics that gets involved. There was an article I shared a couple of months ago about a shared kitchen that this woman started in the Bay Area out of her kimchi factory. So she was making kimchi for her own company, and she invested in this big facility for making her kimchi. And it was going well, but the kitchen was so big, the space was so big that her idea was that she could share it with other tenants. So she brought in all of these. It's in Bay Area, so it was a bunch of Silicon Valley like food startups. And she had her own experience as a landlord to those types of companies. What had happened, as far as just professionalism and running a business. A lot of these young startup founders did not have the experience or the know-how of how to properly run a food company, first of all, so that they could stay in business and continue to pay rent. But just overall culture and creating like a space that people want to be sharing. If you're sharing a space with a bunch of assholes, you're not going to be really happy. So that's been kind of the feedback that I've heard with these kind of shared concepts, shared resources, especially when it comes to your business and a food business, because like chefs or someone's very passionate about the product that they work with are going to be very particular. And, different egos can conflict, different personalities conflict, different cultures can conflict. And so I think that that's like kind of a big issue that makes this style of the shared economy, I think, kind of tricky, right? So think Uber, right? We were talking about the company Cloud Kitchens. The Uber founder is now doing this ghost kitchen business. Uber's a lot different. Yes, you are kind of an entrepreneur, you're like an independent contractor, and you're using that platform to get new business and to make money. But you're not sharing the actual car with a stranger or with someone other business owner. You may create that kind of arrangement on your own, but Uber, the platform itself, that's not the nature of that platform. For you to be sharing, your vehicle with another driver, that would create a lot of problems if we had to do it that way. I say we because I used to be an Uber driver and I couldn't imagine doing that. I liked having my own car and my own space, my tools, right? When you're working in a kitchen, there's a lot more to be shared there. And, is everything going to work out well? Kitchens are hard to run. So you said, yes, unfortunately, I was going to work in an incubator, but it wasn't good because you can't pack tea when someone is making fried chicken or strong flavor things, right? So that's exactly, there's one example. You have to share that space. Your aromas can cross-contaminate, and then you try to work out scheduling, sharing equipment to make sure that you don't have these issues, and it's a lot to manage, and I haven't heard of there being an effective manager that's, handling that well, navigating that well. So that's kind of my lack of enthusiasms around not the concept of ghost kitchen, but the concept of this shared economy on ghost kitchens. I feel like this Cloud Kitchens, with their $130 million in real estate investment, is sounding a lot like WeWork, which, WeWork, I think they're having trouble. It's a difficult business model for them to figure out because they have to keep members there. Same thing with these shared ghost kitchens. They're going to have to keep membership up. And in order to attract the members, you have to have the best state-of-the-art facilities for them. And that's very expensive. I don't know if you've been to a WeWork facility, but yeah, I can tell there's definitely they've got some economies of scale on some stuff to make some things more affordable. But overall, the real estate, the renovations, the build outs, all the amenities that they have to have, that's very costly to attract the members. And members, if they have solid business and if your facility is genuinely offering their business value, yeah, they're going to stay and support. But with entrepreneurship, it's a really hit or miss thing because it doesn't always work. It usually doesn't work for the entrepreneur. And then how to offer value. Not to say that entrepreneur isn't going to start something new and is going to need that facility to work on their project, but if you're not offering value to them, you're going to be the first thing for them to cut off and say, oh, I don't need this, I'll go figure it out on my own. And I think that's what's happened with all of my clients that I've talked to that have tried to do the shared kitchen thing, the incubator kitchens, is that they'd rather use that money to invest. It ends up being quite costly to rent these shared spaces, and then they'd rather use the money to build their own kitchen or build their own facility or create their own co-op of people to share. So I just find I wouldn't use this cloud kitchens. I could see it attracting some people. And unless they're offering kind of an all-inclusive marketing promotion kind of package to their tenants, the failure rate's probably going to be quite high because, running a restaurant's hard enough. Running a pop-up brand that, has just been invented and trying to get your name out into the world, it takes a lot of marketing to do that. And I don't know if chefs or, small scale food entrepreneurs are really equipped, experienced to be able to do that on their own. Of course they're able to do it, but may need some help. Nikki Freyhofer, a senior strategist for the Culinary Edge, a restaurant consulting firm that regularly advises clients on virtual brand creation, compares the current wave of virtual restaurants to direct-to-consumer brands like Casper mattresses or Quip toothbrushes. Consumers are trusting direct-to-consumer brands based on their digital presence alone, and then ordering something that comes straight to their door. At the fundamental level, that's the same thing as a virtual restaurant brand. Interesting. Well, maybe this whole concept of virtual restaurant brands sticking will ultimately help online tea brands as well. Because I think that's something that, there is a lot of online tea sales that happen. Don't get me wrong. It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But if you ask a consumer, a tea lover, about their tea shopping experience, majority, will say that they want to go into a tea shop. They want to smell, they want to see, experience, or learn from the shop owner or the employee, the sommelier, whatever you want to call it. They want to learn, they want to have that connection and build that trust. So that's what, is kind of holding back the real potential that we could be seeing in online tea sales. But maybe if people online restaurant brands, online hospitality brands, if those become normalized, it could translate into other products too. Produce, and then other, luxury products. So it could be good. Okay, so it says Sunset Squares. That's that pizza company I was talking about. The guy and his kids started that pizza company in San Francisco. They embody everything that a brand consultant likely looks for. It serves a purpose, has a focused division, and tells a compelling story. I guess that's all you need to win. But its intentional execution and unorthodox origin story make it exceedingly rare among the glut of ghost kitchens launching to prominence on Uber Eats. So, I mean, that's one thing with the established platform of Uber Eats and Grubhub and all of these things. You could literally just go on board one day and have an immediate sales channel to reach customers. It comes at a cost, though. I mean, there's definitely been a lot of controversy around the fees that these third-party services are charging to their clients, to restaurants. I've heard some up to 30% a fee just going to Uber Eats. And, that's just on your menu item. Uber Eats is making more money from their delivery fees and whatever else, and how they share that with the driver is their business. That's a whole other thing. But if you're looking from the perspective of the restaurant that's trying to reach new customers, and at a point now where you have to be dependent on things like Uber Eats and Grubhub, your menu item costs $10 and over $3 of it automatically boom to Uber. Thank you. Yeah, it's not very cool. But if you're just an indie person and you do your pricing right to calculate that for Uber, then you can make it work. You can make it financially feasible. But yeah, you're probably gonna have to charge a higher price for like takeout food. Maybe $15, $20 a person for takeout food for a meal. Some people may find that to be a very high price. But if you're a good chef and you provide an excellent experience, then it'll work. I'm pretty sure that pizza company, they probably offer an experience even in the delivery itself. I wouldn't doubt. They probably have some, cool culture in how they deliver the pizza that is in addition to the pizza itself, because they're delivering it themselves. They're able to connect with that customer themselves. I think that's actually very smart. If I was in this business, I'd stay away from Uber Eats. I'd find more creative ways to connect with the customers and to create that elevated experience. Even if I'm doing the delivery myself and charging a lot. So what that one the pizza place, they charge $20. Like if you're in Oakland and you want to order one of these pizzas, they're gonna charge you $20 just for the delivery fee. It's a lot of money. So what they're finding is that the best opportunity is targeting families, groups, because then if you're feeding a group of 10 people or 5 people, then that $20 delivery fee can be better spread out, more than just like targeting the bachelors that they were typically the ones that were ordering food, but now it's families ordering food, it's large groups ordering food, not offices, unfortunately. I actually had a friend from 500 Startups that had a marketing platform for office assistants, specifically for office assistants, and connecting them with different restaurants that had group catering menus that they could order from. And then the company, my friend's company, would actually handle the delivery and the, setting up the food for office lunches. So they had they wanted to cater it and wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. They could use this marketplace. But she just sold her company. I don't know what it's doing now, but I don't know if it really worked, you know, and now with the pandemic, I'm sure. No one's ordering office catering. No. So going into my third infusion of this monsoon magic. I'm feeling so light complected. I was spending a lot of September, yeah, pretty much the whole month of September. Every weekend I was in the sun all weekend long. I haven't done that in a couple of months, so I feel like I'm back. And I haven't actually been streaming for a while. I appreciate you guys, you know, letting me have my time. You know, speaking of innovations in hospitality, I've been spending, you know, the past few weeks putting together a streaming event, a virtual festival, a continuation of the virtual tea festival, or a new iteration. I'm planning on continuing that brand of events, virtual tea festival, and doing different themed events. And so we're doing one on November 28th, which is Saturday. That's a Saturday following Thanksgiving, which is typically marketed as Small Business Saturday. So I thought I'd keep in that trend, and let me pull this up. If you just go to bit.ly/small tea grower festival, that will take you to the website where you can see information. Here we go. We got their flyer up now. You can see it. And I just put the link in the comments so you guys can get to it. So yeah, I've been putting together this event. This is going to be 4 different tea growers, small tea growers from all over the world that will be giving presentations and then also doing live Q&A. So if you have questions about their tea, about their community, about their tea garden, that would be a really good opportunity to learn a lot about tea directly from the tea farmers. And we will be offering a premium experience ticket, which you can access at this link I put into the comments. It's bit.ly/small tea grower festival. On Instagram, you just go to our profile. The link is in the profile. You can click it directly from there. To order a premium experience ticket, which is it's $50. And that's going to give you a box. I'm going to ship you a box of tea that the farmers are going to be doing presentations on. So we have now confirmed Kuni-san from Matcha Organic Japan, and we are going to experience brand new 2020 fresh ground matcha to celebrate the Kuchikiri, which is opening the new matcha, the new tencha of the year, and grinding it into fresh matcha. So we will be doing that demonstration, and then you'll get to taste it yourself. And that's 50 grams of matcha. So like the matcha alone is already worth more than the value of this ticket. But then in addition to the matcha, we are also going to have a presentation from Bob Jacobson of Hawaii Rainforest Tea. He is going to be presenting not only his garden and his story of how he became a tea grower, but also presenting his Hawaii Spring White Tea, which is our most exclusive tea on our catalog. It is our most valuable, most exclusive tea, and you will be getting a sample of that with your premium experience. We also have confirmed Amba Tea Estate, and the tea that they will be focusing on is the Vangeti Peko. So I'm going to learn about a very interesting, historically significant tea from Sri Lanka. And finally, we will have Suresh Nanjan of Tea Near Tea. He'll be doing a presentation. I believe we are going to be talking about their black tea. So we'll have a little bit of everything, a white tea, a green tea, a black tea, and 2 black teas. So it'll be a very nice experience. I hope you plan to come. And be a part of this, which is not only going to be a fun experience for all of us, but a good learning experience. So today I'm talking about innovations and hospitality. If this is something that you are interested in, even professionally, if you're a chef or you own a tea business and you are wondering what kind of innovative new things you could be doing to engage your customers, join. If anything, to research what I'm doing, please join. The event will be streaming, just like this is streaming right now. We'll be streaming across all of our different social channels. So if you're following us already, you will be pinged when I go live. It'll be a 4-hour stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. And that's the angle we're going in. I think even in this article, they talk about virtual events. Oh, hi, Brian. Thank you. Oh, so that's it. So what's being alluded to in this article is that instead of having one singular brand that would own many different outlets, like let's say a Cheesecake Factory, that's a good example, and an extensive menu that offers everything that every single customer could ever want. The new business model, the new corporate business model, is to have a lot of different brands, and each one of those brands may have a very targeted, specific menu that does those things very well. I think that's a great idea. And the example here is Starbird. That's a brand. That's a food brand. Starbird Chicken, a Bay Area fried chicken restaurant. So they have physical stores. So that was their old model. But now, since they've all gone to ghost kitchens, he now has several virtual brands. Starbird Wings, Starbird Salad, Starbird Bowls, and Garden Bird. By having multiple brands, we own a greater portion of digital real estate, the owner says. With 5 brands on an Uber Eats or DoorDash, we can target a customer who's looking for a more specialized product. We can make that site highlight a full menu category. Very smart. Very, very smart. So, wow. It's pretty incredible. Funny. People are funny. Okay. Instead of a huge menu where some items might get lost, those items can be broken out and highlighted as brands of their own. A benefit for existing restaurants looking to make more money. Zool, a ghost kitchens company, rents kitchen space to restaurant businesses in Manhattan. Since COVID, Zool has seen an uptick in interest. The company receives multiple inquiries per day from both existing restaurants looking to expand and virtual concepts looking to launch. And then I think there was something else in here about virtual events. They say that virtual brands are in a nascent phase of evolution. They optimize for simplicity, so the easiest launches come first. The virtual space is ripe for innovation, and I doubt the overriding trend will be homogeny. The virtual space allows for a certain degree of flexibility and the ability to be nimble to adapt to consumer preferences, so operators shouldn't shy away from innovation or creativity by any means. It can't seem like you hodgepodge makeshift your brand together. It's got to be very kept. But, in the digital age now, even with this small brewer tea festival or virtual tea festival, those were brands that I just had to launch like that, and with how easy design is and how digital content is these days, that's not that's not too much of an issue. While there are fewer startup costs and the timeline is shorter, some aspects of launching a virtual brand and opening a new restaurant are the same. Any restaurant is nothing but trying to figure out solutions, and it's just shifting in a different way. Coming up with the names is the hardest part, as always. That's why you just go to your URL search and just use that as your basis for looking things up. When you have something that clicks, you just go with it. Towards the end of our conversation, the restaurant's publicist chimes in, playful add-ons to the bottom. Yeah, so that's that. That's cool. So there's nothing in here about virtual events, but that's like an additional thing. And actually, here in Vegas, this is actually a friend of mine. I'm involved with her on a couple of initiatives, especially with women in hospitality, gender, helping balance the gender dynamic in hospitality industry. Jolene Manina, who I have yet to ask, but I want to ask her to come on to one of these weeks. Maybe whenever I'm like more settled here. I haven't really been settled in the studio for the past few months. So, and I'm planning in the month of December, I'm going to be settled here. So I'll get her in one week, and I'd love to have her come on and talk about her experience because she launched a really cool business. I'll just show it really quickly here. secretburger.com. This is like, so they're, I guess now they're only in Vegas and Spokane. Okay. No, I do not want to chat. No. So these are the different events. So they were, when she launched a few years ago, they were doing like pop-up dinner events. So, you'd go to some kitchen, some restaurant, maybe the restaurant is dark one day, and so on one of those dark days, a guest chef would come, or even the chef at home would make a special menu item, and they would sell that menu item through this marketplace only. Well, they're not really doing that so much anymore, as they're doing a lot of virtual cooking classes. So especially when we're on full lockdown, which if we get back into that, the restaurants can't even be open at all for dine-in. So if they want to be connecting with their customers, they need to do something virtual like this, just like how this small tea grower festival is giving an opportunity for not only me or our clients, but also the tea growers to have a chance to connect with the consumer, which is amazing because before pandemic, that wasn't happening either. So it's like the pandemic has definitely instigated this innovation to happen, where we are getting a lot more involvement from different players that typically weren't at the table. So now we get to bring them all at the table together so we can party virtually together. So yeah, this is Jolene's product, and she's launching a new project here in downtown Las Vegas called Vegas Tex Kitchen, which is a ghost kitchen, but they're going to be doing more, hosting temporary chef residencies, pop-up dinners, and other special events. And I'm sure having an integration with the virtual streaming type of stuff. So, just come and pick up the ingredients and go home and either plate your dish with the chef, or do your final finishing cooking on the dish with the chef guiding that experience for you. The Vegas Tex Kitchen will provide 3-month chef residencies, allowing developing restaurateurs to the opportunity to perfect their menus, branding, and business operations. The first residency will be Lanny Chin, chef de cuisine at Slanted Door. That's good. I actually ate at the Slanted Door. The Slanted Door had opened right before the pandemic, and I actually had the opportunity to eat there during their soft launch. And I met Chef, met Lanny. Nice guy. Oh, so that's exciting for him. So they're going to be there for 3 months. So I don't know if they're going to be shared It must be 3 months at a time, and so they just rotate. So that's kind of cool because then they get the space all to themselves, but they don't have all the strings attached of like signing a 5-year lease or a 3-year plus lease in order to get your restaurant started. So very good on you, Jolene. And I thought about reaching out to her for today for this podcast, but I just got too carried away with everything else. Good to see you, Shiloh. Talking about ghost kitchens and other technology today. Let's see, what other articles have I pulled up? Oh, I found this article. So this is from Cornell University. Maybe I'll get this guy, Christopher Anderson and Chekaton Dev, to come on and talk. They were talking about travel, mostly travel, and kind of their predictions about, not too much on innovation or technology, but there was something interesting here. About Ticketmaster. It says Ticketmaster recently announced the integration with third-party health companies like Clear and IBM, along with testing and vaccine distribution providers, which ensure patrons are vaccinated or test negative prior to attending events. The barriers to travel so far have been mistrust and uncertainty. We are at a stage now with testing and soon with vaccination that major service providers, especially those with scale through centralization, can provide potential guests peace of mind. Yeah, so you got to get vaccinated if you want to go to that concert. I guess that's it. So you got to download the tracing app on your phone to go to the concert or to eat at the restaurant. But yeah, that was just something else I found, not really related to ghost kitchens. But it seems that they've been doing a lot of thinking around what the hospitality and travel industry is going to look like. We're approaching the end of the pandemic, really. I mean, we're in our last spike, which is a big one. But once it all clears out, we're at the end of the pandemic. But things, the economic consequences, I think, are gonna, that wave is gonna be longer than the pandemic itself, and then also like the culture and the experience of dining, and then just consumer values. Those are going to remain different, and so that's what's interesting to think about. I don't know, let me know if you guys have any thoughts. The third infusion on this tea is still very nice. Very, very nice. I'm enjoying it. Very mellow. Today's feeling like a mellow day. Shiloh, are you planning to come to the Small Tea Growers Festival Saturday in a few weeks? I'm actually going to be announcing we already announced the Matcha Bowl giveaway, which I can show you some of their work. I actually have a special Matcha Bowl from them. Shiloh, I think you'll appreciate this. So this is a box that Marie, the artist, she actually made this. It's wooden. She worked with a shop. You see, it has even like their logo. That's there. Oh, you can read it this way. It's upside down. Not made in China. You can see their logos here. She even imprinted a message on the back of the box. Let's read it. The agate ware line is one of Patrick's most popular. Our agate line is an example of spiral wedged 2 different clay bodies, an iron-rich stoneware and an icy white porcelain. So the giveaway that we're doing on their matcha bowl is the white porcelain. It's not this one. They don't have any of these available right now for the giveaway. But I just wanted to show you their work. But this is special, and she even made a box. Whoops. The box is fine. Heavy duty box. But you can see the shape. You see that beautiful spiral look? Yeah, so this is the shape of the bowl. And you can actually add on the bowl to your ticket. If you are getting the premium experience, you can add it on there on that page. But we are giving away one bowl, and it's just the white. It's not going to be the swirl like this one. It's just the white porcelain. We'll be giving away one of those bowls to one ticket holder. So when you buy a ticket, you have until next Monday to get your tickets, so that way I have time to ship you the tea so that you can drink it along with us for the festival. And we'll do the drawing for that winner on Monday. So then you can get the bowl in time for the presentation. And Marie and Patrick will be presenting as part of the festival as well. So, but I'm going to be announcing a different giveaway, and that giveaway is just for a ticket. Now, if you win your ticket through the giveaway, then you're not going to be eligible for the tea bowl giveaway, but you can still get a ticket. And so I'll be announcing that through our social channels probably later today. So if you're interested in coming, you can get a ticket that way. But yeah, next Monday. So you have a week. You have a week to get it together. Yeah. Awesome, Shiloh. Should be fun. Yeah, we're going to have the Kuchikiri celebration, so grinding the fresh matcha. So yeah, the matcha that will be sent in the premium experience tickets will be fresh, 50 grams of fresh 2020 ceremonial organic matcha. And then also one of our presenters from Hawaii, Bob Jacobson from Hawaii Rainforest Tea, will be giving a presentation, and a sample of his tea, which is our most exclusive, highest value tea on our catalog, will be sent to you to drink alongside with us. And then we will have Amba Tea Estate. They'll be doing a focus on their Vangeti Peko. And then finally, Suresh Nanjan from Teenier Tea. And yeah, I'm going to ask him to speak with us about about his family. He presented at the Virtual Tea Festival back in April, and he gave a very good presentation about the biodynamics and kind of the ethos and culture behind their project. But now, I kind of I want him to go a little bit deeper into tasting the tea. Of course, we'll be drinking the tea there, part of the event. So if you want to taste some very, very high level, high vibe South Indian tea made by hands, made very artisanally, that'll be a good experience. So yeah, bit.ly/Small Tea Grower Festival has all the ticket info, and it will be streaming across our channels. So even if you don't get that premium experience ticket, you will be able to tune in and watch the presentations. We want to give everybody a chance to have some fun with us. And that's the future of hospitality. That's the future of keeping people engaged with our love of hospitality safely from their own home. That's the best way that I can think of bringing dignity to all of it. In other exciting news, Instagram now lets you go live for longer than an hour. I've been live for an hour and 5 minutes now and haven't been cut off. So that was something I learned last week, Thursday. Instagram used to cut you off half an hour. And they gave you like a 20-second timer, so at least you knew You were almost going to get cut off, but... So lots of planning until then. I'm trying to get the word out. My personal goal, okay, so with the virtual tea festival, we had about 10,000 people with the playbacks and everything somehow involved. I'd like to double that number. And my brother, he wants to see 1,000 people involved in the tasting. That would be awesome. That would be so cool if we could reach out to all of those people that are looking for something like that to do. Even if they're new to tea, this is something that could be a very good entry level kind of fun thing. This is not going to be a very heavy education, technical experience. It's going to be fun. It'll be lighthearted and fun. So, yeah, and you know, even people in hospitality that are researching what's going on. You know, I encourage you to experience this. I'm trying to break ground, you know, and I'm also trying to create kind of a protocol, a standard for the entire industry that we could use in this. So, you know, something that I've been really spending a lot of time on is Twitch. You know, we're streaming to Twitch now. I've been streaming to Twitch since the beginning of doing all these lives, but I'm really starting to learn how big the ecosystem of Twitch streamers, and there's all kinds of streamers, and there's actually a lot of cooking streamers. There's not a whole lot of tea streamers. I think at this point I might be the only one, but I think in a matter of time there's going to be more and more tea streamers there on Twitch. But the food streamers, and I've started to notice they're getting clever. They're starting to build brand partnerships with different products that they really enjoy using. And the thing about like doing a brand partnership on something like Twitch, where it's different than like Instagram. It's like Instagram, you have like the influencers, and you know, you can hire them to like take a selfie with your product, and that'll drive traffic to your website. And there's a whole industry around that. There is legitimate industry, a major marketing industry. But and it's inauthentic and it's ineffective, you know, like just been said over and over again how ineffective influencer marketing is actually on Instagram. But on Twitch, it's a lot different because a successful streamer on Twitch actually has an engaged audience. They don't just have like the audience on Instagram is a very like low attention span of flipping through, just consuming lots of content and not really valuing that content. Like, yeah, maybe they're mildly valuing it, but on Twitch, like, they really value it. They value it so much that they subscribe and they pay for the content. And so, if a food streamer is going to start promoting some product, the only way it's going to be effective is if it's authentic. And the streamer is not going to want to introduce something inauthentic because then that affects their viewership, it affects their sponsorships, subscriptions, I should say, and that's how they make their money in their streaming. So if they're going to promote a product, they're going to promote a product that is in harmony with their authenticity of their stream. And so that's where I think something like good tea or other, you know, elevated hospitality products could find a good fit, building brand partnerships with streamers. And yeah, I'm excited for the future on that. Hopefully, I can get one of those streamers that has started building those partnerships to come on and chat with me on one of these Dignified Hospitality. Because, you know, the reason why they're doing it is because their hours have gotten cut, their restaurants have closed, catering has died off. So they're kind of out of work. And maybe they haven't stepped up to the ghost kitchen opportunity just yet. They want to keep it more indie and not be necessarily serving people actual food, but serving content. And there's a lot of room for content to be created. And of course, brand partnerships to support that content, which is it's not a new thing. But what is new is authenticity, because YouTube ads, or bloggers just putting ads up on their blog, they were effective at that time, and maybe people have just gotten numb to them. But on Twitch, your audience is present with you. Like right now, you guys are present with me. And if I start, saying something that you're not resonating with, or is not in harmony with my authenticity, you're going to see that. And either you're going to stop watching, or you're going to say something to me. And that's going to affect, the experience. So, this kind of visceral experience is really injecting a lot of opportunity for authenticity in marketing. So there's also another piece of innovation in hospitality that we've seen this year. By the way, if you are interested in like cooking shows and such, I would say explore the food channels on Twitch. You may be surprised with how entertained you'd be with it. Potters and sculptors are streaming on Twitch to pretty decent engagement. It's growing. Engagement through tea authenticity would fit Twitch really well. Exactly. I think so. If anything, like, so what I've done with a couple of streamers that I just personally like there's a guy that plays classical guitar, and then there's actually, in fact, I want to play a video for you guys before I go. There's a guy that's playing classical guitar. And I sent him some tea and said, hey, here's some tea for you to drink to help you focus, while you do your streams. And, I don't know if it's brought in any return, but it's definitely been, good to learn. And, my brand's not there. And I told him I don't want my brand there. I just like the idea of tea. I just want you promoting the overall idea of tea and, what the culture of tea. I found the video. Oh, this is fun. Here, I'll show you guys. This will be really fun for you to see. So this is the streamer that I like.
Open the glorious thing that's he sent us.
Oh, he's doing it.
Rehearsal got moved to later time, but make food and prepare for rehearsal. Sounds good, man. Have a good one and enjoy your life. Okay, so here's the thing that we got from Yesterday wasn't prepared. Yikes. Oh, this is so cool. Nice. Yeah. This is so cool. Nice. Nobody else was two of those, so you got a nice thing. It's like, yeah, do something. What are these nice things here? Sourced from Bahar, India, grown and made by friends, Achieve and Dolly, their father-daughter. Black tea and green tea made from the same plant. Helios sinensis plants the only bioavailable source of iodine, making the tea. Oh, a new travel. Oh my god, very cool. So mental focus and relaxation of the dreams. Nice to get a little coloring book. Also helps. Yeah, dude, legit. Very cool. I am super excited to try that out. Oh, we're gonna even have posters for the people that.
So yeah, this was like a live unboxing I had recorded from his stream. So this is his stream he's doing. He plays classical guitar here.
That's cool.
He streams for 8 hours every day. It's pretty incredible. I like him. You know, I find his streams really relaxing, and he does it for like 8 hours every single night, from like 11 o'clock at night until 7 o'clock in the morning. He just practices classical guitar. And I was like, you should be drinking tea. Like, he has a little like command where you can water him, so he can drink water when he needs to drink water. But I was like, you need to drink tea, and then, you know, make sure it's good tea he's drinking. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for, you know, all the other hundreds of streamers that have their own personal audiences that could be integrating tea lifestyle and culture into their stream authentically, you know, where it fits in. You know, if what he just did was like a commercial, his viewers would know. They would feel that. They would know, oh, this is a paid sponsorship. But I mean, it was very authentic how I even came up with the idea of sending him tea. But, you know, I think that there's more opportunity and to kind of standardize the whole process of how we interact with online personalities. I'm going to start calling it that instead of influencers. I'll call it online personalities. And authentically integrate the tea lifestyle and your tea brand, if there's a brand associated with it, into these communities and into these experiences. So, yeah, that's the innovation. Lots of innovation, you know, and I think it's all virtual. Ultimately, that's what we're learning. It's all online. Like, how do you extend the experience of hospitality onto the internet? This is the only way that I know how to do it. And, you know, the Small Tea Grower Festival coming up in a few weeks, that's going to be my next attempt. And I hope if you're interested in these things, you plan on attending. There is a Facebook event that you can RSVP to it. And if you RSVP, you'll be notified when we go live. So it'll pop up in your notifications. You'll know when to come on. And, yeah, we'll have a lot of fun together. And, yeah, get the premium experience, because then, you know, I hope it can inspire you if you're looking for ways to bring more opportunity and dignity to your own endeavors in hospitality and the business of hospitality. You know, I hope it can be an inspiration for you. You know, just trying to create the good way forward. But I think with that, I'm gonna sign off, guys. I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. My phone just died, so that's loss. But thank you guys all for joining in. It's been fun today, and I hope you learned something. I learned a little something, thought of some new inspirations, some new ideas, and I'll be seeing you later on. Peace.